Gigabyte chooses to zone out Pobelter because he's the main damage threat here. But Immortals has to recognize, you're only going to kill one. They have to turn back on Levi. They greed out, and they end up getting the worst of it.
Exactly, and I think this was actually the one of a number of missed decisions here from Smithy throughout the game, but Levi was extremely proactive. He knew that he had to actually snowball this game. Another kind of question here is, where's the Shen'el, right? You know, Pobelter flashing away. If the Shen'el comes in, maybe they can turn that around, but a lot of messed up execution from Immortals, and Levi took advantage of that.
Yeah, and I feel like Gigabyte Marines, outside of like Levi's very first tower dive, he did like level 3 where it backfired, actually just played also really smart around the 1-3-1 split push, where with Levi constantly roaming in the jungle. It wasn't just blind aggression and complete fiesta or anything. No, it was actually they knew exactly when they could go all in, especially with the Syndra and the Kayn combination.
And it goes deeper than that. Look at the level 1. The Gigabyte Marines had a 3-man invade onto Raptors. You put Xmithy behind from the get-go. You have Levi starting solo jungling, so he gets ahead of the Gragas. And when you consider the champions that you have in the jungle right now, your physical damage threats, you've got Ezreal, Rek'Sai, and Jarvan. None of them really have a lot of kill pressure, whereas you have Kayn. Kayn, Syndra combined can burst through a Ryze that has Stand United and heal. And when he's already snowballed, when the team's decision is to snowball, it goes even further. And to top things off, you have a winning bottom lane that Cody's son just got rocked. Let's be honest. When you take Ashe, he has to take Cleanse. They lost first brick.
Yeah, they did. But while we're giving a lot of praise to Levi, I have to give some criticism to Smithy, because I do think that a lot of why this game went so bad is kind of on his shoulders. We talked Then another time, they go up top lane, trying to pick on the Urgot again, and Smithy holds on to his ultimate until Flame is already in ultimate range from the Urgot, and he gets executed. I think that if you use the Gragas ultimate at the very start of that, that's a free kill. There's a lot of missed execution here, and some of it comes from not having practice, but some of it is just straight up, not good enough play. And I think that really Immortals got straight up beat.
A little bit of greed with the spells there in terms of wanting to get more for less. It bites Immortals in the end. I think what makes, or what is most interesting rather about this result is what it does for the groups. As is seen here, we now have Gigabyte Marines and Immortals tied. Most importantly, what this means is that Fnatic does not need to win out anymore in order to have a shot at getting out of the groups.
Yeah, they have to beat Immortals and Gigabyte Marines specifically. They don't need to beat Longshu, which of course is, I guess, a relief for these guys sitting backstage. Longshu needs to, of course, go 6-0 as well. And then you have that 2 wins, 4 losses, 3-way tie where any team can make it out.
The fact of the matter is, though, if Fnatic now could get a win off Longshu, that means so
Let's
much.
calm down here. Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
Hey, we heard Sneaky top of the day. They're kicking into overdrive, Martin.
I mean, it would be big. And then on the flip side, right, for Immortals, now it's time to get, nose to the grindstone. You just lost the game that you thought, you're going to open the day with a win here. You got to go up against some a Fnatic, maybe a re-energized Fnatic, and then obviously the favorites in Longzhu.
Well, Fnatic, at least now when they play up against Immortals, they'll have a sigh of relief, not just because, as you mentioned, they don't have to beat Longzhu, but this Immortals squad didn't leave much for excitement. You're like, well, the decision-making was off. They played poorly with Xmithy, who is the main shot caller, who's so critical for this team. And so when they look to, as Sneaky said, turn everything around, they actually have a good shot now to be competitive in this group, which is not something that any of us thought would happen.
I just think it completely changes the mentality of Fnatic, going into the rest of this day. Coming in 0-3, you'd be thinking, oh, the chances are very grim. You have to beat Longzhu to have a chance. That's probably not going to happen. But now, it's up in the air. It's anyone's group. Gigabyte is going to be re-energized. Fnatic is going to be re-energized. And really, it's a 3-horse race for that second place.
I mean, it is. I think good thing, though, for Immortals is, and Gigabyte Marines is, I think Fnatic have looked weaker than Gigabyte's Marines. So despite Immortals, losing this game, it's not necessarily painting a picture of them just being the weakest team.
Right.
By any means, I still think they will be favorites with the Marines to make it out in second place, and Fnatic will have to be, the dark horse.
It's good for my pick'ems if it turns out that way. Now, the Gigabyte Marines took a crucial win against Immortals. When we return, we'll see if Fnatic can shake things up when they go against undefeated Longzhu. Don't touch that browser. Did you get all your notes?
Smithy in the fog lands the body slam. No turret. No, there is turret. Echo takes one shot. Gonna take to the wall, but there's the damage output, and they're gonna get first blood.
Không có đâu, chưa đây đâu. Tách về rồi. Tao sẽ được con trai á. Nó hết bèo rồi đó, nó hết bèo rồi đó.
They might have the first damage, the fear beyond death, not quite gonna come through. No, it is. He's gonna eat him. No, but he's gonna get the kill. He's gonna get the certified.
Tao thì xuống rồi.
Anh với đường đây rồi.
Tao đón luôn, anh Baron luôn. Tao sẽ được super.
Tao đang chạy luôn á,
Baron.
The Baron goes down, picked up. Now Cody's son, but he's up against Barrier. Only picks up 1 kill. Can he trade with No Way? And the Hellstone kill Urgot. The minions are there. Urgot cannot die. He will not be stopped. And this will be Gigabyte Marines improving 2-2. They tied the head-to-head. And this is the game that had to happen if Marines want to make top 8. They've done step 1.
Exatamente, nosso leve caçador da Marines, comentário incrível. Quero saber desse Urgot, da onde veio, qual que é a ideia por trás dele, que explicou um pouquinho pra gente. So everyone was surprised by Urgot, but explain to us the reason behind the big o Art treinou, descobriu o campeão e ele chegou aqui, deixa eu jogar com ele aí, descobri que é bom e acabou dando certo. Agora saber dele o que eles fizeram nesses últimos dias de treinamento, o que eles focaram para treinar, porque enxerga uma evolução muito grande depois de abandonar as vibrações de rota. So, what the focus of the practice in the last days was, because you were playing with lane swaps, but now you played standard and really well. So what was the focus of the practice? Padrão, mas nessas últimas semanas eu estava focando mais no padrão. Thank you very much.
It would mean so much to get out of groups, just because we had this poor showing in, like, we got the 3rd place, even though we had such a strong regular season. And even though we are 0-3 right now, if we managed to make it out, it would be the miracle run. And right now, I just don't feel like we're at a place where we deserve to get out, because it just feels like no one's like playing 100%, and no one's really trying the hardest. So if we were to try our hardest and get out of groups and somehow turn it all around, then it would be the best ever.
Well, we'll see if they can do it. The miracle run, no team has started 0-3 and made it out to the top 8, but this could